Justin, Darren, thank you. Hello again, everyone. First of two meetings this season between these no longer conference opponents, but Patrick Roy's presence puts a little more fuel to help ignite this rivalry again. Our goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers in a third consecutive start for Jonas Gustafsson, who stopped 64 of 67 shots he's faced the previous two victories. And there is Semyon Varlamov, one of the big stories early this season. He's 5-0, his team 6-0. He's allowed just one goal in 4 of his starts, allowed 2 on Tuesday. He's faced 82 shots the past 2 games. There's Tim Peel, one of the referees tonight. Graham Skilleter is the other. The Colorado Avalanche have allowed just one first-period goal in 6 games this season. That was here Tuesday in a 3-2 win over Dallas. Pavel Datsyuk starts between Henrik Zetterberg and Todd Bertuzzi. And they had Paul Stastny out there, along with Gabriel Landeskog, number 92, Stastny 26, Alex Tanguay in his second go-around with the Avalanche is number 40. Here's Todd Bertuzzi, plays one back, and he'll hear the boos here in Colorado for past transgressions, but that is to be expected as we get our first stop in the game. Chris Osgood.
Well, for me tonight, Coach Mike Babcock will be looking to how are they going to neutralize guys like Duchesne, Stastny, Parenteau, McKinnon. Guys, these young guys are quick, fast, explosive, and very good offensively. They got to watch all 4 of these guys.
And Patrick Roy obviously wants Duchesne at least to start out there against Stephen Weiss's line. Stephen Weiss with Abdelkader and Franzen. This Duchesne unit with number 90, Ryan O'Reilly, who's a center who's moved to the wing for Matt Duchesne. And on the other side, Steve Downey, who has been moved up to that top line in favor of P.A. Parenteau. That was really the only change that Patrick Roy made during training camp. And it's obviously worked thus far with the Avs 6-0. Here comes Weiss in across the line. The Red Wings off to a great start themselves at 5-2 and having won 3 straight games. Looking to hand Colorado its first loss of the season. Only the Avs and San Jose Sharks are still perfect on the year. And all their wins, both teams, have come in regulation time. Moving up is Cleary. Out there along now with Anderson. Knock one through to Abdelkader, who gets hit hard from behind. Knocked down by Corey Sarge, the defenseman number 16, as the Avs bring it through center. And into Detroit territory, Gustafsson made the save off the shot from number 29, Nathan McKinnon. He's got terrific speed, too. It comes back to the blue line, and a shot right in from Gemin will be held there by Jonas Gustafsson.
Well, Patrick Roy, first-year coaching a 6-0-0 record, tied with Mario Tremblay for the best start of any coach in National Hockey League history. A guy that is a winner, is a competitor, and his team seems to be taking on that type of personality here earlier in the season, and they're confident. The young players are playing for him, and they're enjoying playing for him. He seems to be having fun. We watched him practice today, blowing his non-whistle,
and
right, skating in player skates, which impressed me a ton.
It must have. That's not easy to do, going from a goaltender to go to player skates, is it?
I'll tell you, it's very hard. It took me a full one practice to quit skating them. I almost buried myself on the boards a few times, but for him, he has them going so far, and it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it up through the full season.
Puck's knocked down inside the line is 2-2. Played one through to Glendening. Drew Miller, the other forward on this line, and 2-2 centered one out, and Glendening just missed it. And the Avs will chop one back into Detroit territory. Going to pick it up is Kronwall. Puts on the brakes. He gets hit hard. A pair of 55s, and Kronwall's hurt. McLeod got him, and there's going to be a penalty. And 2-2's on the ice, and we'll see what develops out of this.
Well, let's hope for the best here, Ken, for Kronwall. That did not look good. Him going in there, whether he's hit high in the head. Blair Croner going in to get the puck is definitely buried. It seems like he hit his face against the dasher there, Kenny, maybe down low, but he seems to be in a great amount of pain. Let's hope for the best, that it's not too bad. McLeod coming in hard, jumped a little bit for sure, burying his head. I don't know if he appeared to have targeted the head, Ken, but...
And he could be looking at a game misconduct. Cody McLeod.
For sure, that's going to keep the guys in Toronto busy. They'll be reviewing that for sure, but...
That they will. We'll wait for the official's call. It would appear to be 5 for boarding and a game misconduct, you would think. We'll wait for it official. Here's the call. Let's listen in.
for voting in a game misconduct. Detroit penalty. Erickson, 2 minutes for roughing.
Oh, look at that. Tim Peel knows all the names too, obviously. So Jonathan Erickson gets 2 for roughing out of that as they attend to Nick Kronwall as 155 is gone from the game, and unfortunately the way it's looking now for Kronwall, the other 55 may be gone too from this game.
Well, for me, Kenny, on this play, I'd like to see again if McLeod left his feet or not, if he lunged at him. Kronwall did kind of bend over, try to spin away, and really bury Cronner's head right into the boards here, right on the dasher. Here's Erickson, grabs him. This is what he's supposed to do early in the year, send a message, especially against a guy like McLeod, who buries one of your best players, best leaders in the team. I think a play that was obviously 100% necessary by Erickson.
So the Red Wings will have a 3-minute power play out of this, the 5-minute major. So regardless of scoring, the Red Wings would stay on that. 2 minutes will offset by the Jonathan Erickson penalty, and we, again, just hope for the best for Nick Kronwall, as the Red Wings will be down 1 defenseman here. So while they attend to the fine Red Wings assistant captain, Nick Kronwall on the ice will step out for a moment and return to the Pepsi Center after this. Moments ago, the scene as Nick Kronwall is taken from the ice and put on the stretcher. And they'll continue the evaluation of Nick Kronwall. Cody McLeod is gone. Let's see if, watch here, as Nick Kronwall is taken off. And what we all wanted to see here will be this. Thumbs up coming right there. That's it. Great, guys.
A nice little wave. That's always great to see.
Absolutely.
As a player after a play like that. It's a hockey play that turned out bad, and Kronwall hopefully is going to be all right, and we'll find out that later hopefully for everybody.
All right, so the teams right now are 4 aside as Erickson's 2 minutes, and then the Red Wings will head to a power play for 3 that will remain on the Cody McLeod 5-minute major and the game misconduct. Henrik Zetterberg brings it in. Zetterberg with 6 goals on the year, tied with Alexander Ovechkin for second behind the fine rookie for San Jose, Tomas Hertl. Duchesne gets checked there by Datsyuk. Matt Duchesne telling me this morning it's always a challenge to go against Pavel Datsyuk, and it lifts him up for the game. He said you're not going to win every battle, you just try to win some. Datsyuk carries in off his stick to Kindle, and a shot off the side of the goal. And picked up there by Nathan MacKinnon, the first overall pick from last summer. MacKinnon carries in, and it was knocked aside. And they say here, as fast as you think Duchesne might be, MacKinnon might be quicker.
Wow, I was thinking the same thing, Ken.
Yeah.
He's flying down the left side. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. The Red Wings are going to have to be able to control that if they want to be successful. And a good job there to keep him the outside, though.
Danny DeKeyser, whom you spoke of in our open, who made his National Hockey League debut in this building, comes back to the line here to Franzen, back to Lashoff, and a shot and a save and a rebound. Penalty coming up here as Alfredsson was hooked on the way through. Back to the line again as Gustafsson heads to the bench for an extra skater. Lashoff moving in. That gets blocked and deflects to the corner. So another penalty coming here to Colorado. So the Avalanche penalty that has been excellent. Ryan Wilson will go to the box, Chris.
Yeah, that for me comes under the category as a necessary penalty. Alfredsson alone by himself had a great chance on Varlamov, and getting pulled down by Wilson. That's a penalty that if they kill it off, they're going to say that's okay to take that. But if not, they're not going to think the same thing. But for me, Red Wings power play has been very good the last 2-3 games, moving the puck well.
And the Avalanche penalty killing has been excellent. 1 power play goal against this season. They were the last team to allow a power play goal, and it came in their last victory Tuesday over Dallas. So DeKeyser to Kindle, and a shot just wide. So a 4-on-3 man advantage. You don't see that very often. But the Red Wings on a bell tire power play here. A power play for the Red Wings that is 19th in the league. They were 1 for 4 against the Jackets, and that turned out to be Zetterberg's game winner. That's offside as Weiss played it back and then brought in by Bertuzzi on the offside. So Todd Bertuzzi lost himself a goal. but he didn't mind. He knows he didn't touch it and went to Henrik Zetterberg against Columbus.
You know, right now, Henrik Zetterberg can't do much wrong, can he?
No.
Him and Pav score some highly real goals, and a shot he misses and kind of wedges it in towards the goal, found its way home for the game winner against Columbus. But he's hot, and he deserves it because he works so hard. He earns his points in his playing time for sure.
That puck went out of play off the board, so we'll get a face-off back down in the Colorado zone as you look at Jan Hejda, who's a part of their shutdown D. Jan Hejda back there, along with Eric Johnson, another first overall pick, but that of St. Louis. But this pair usually plays against the top lines and very good defensively.
Yeah, their defense in a whole has gotten better over the course of the last 2 seasons, and coming into this year, Patrick was looking for them to get the shot total down and play a lot better.
Now the Red Wings on a 5-on-3 manpower advantage here. They've had enough against them this year so far early in this season. Now look to take advantage the other way. So Zetterberg's got it. Zetterberg on quite a roll. 4 goals, 6 points the past 3 games. Gets it back from Alfredsson. To Alfredsson and a shot, and that was stopped by Varlamov, whose save percentage has been outstanding, but boy, does he spit out some rebounds. He's trying to contend with Franzen in front. Alfredsson down low. Zetterberg looks for an open man. There are plenty, but he missed Kindle with the pass, and it ricochets to center.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate break, although Zetterberg, being a left-handed shot, Varlamov was dipping down a bit. He has opportunities to shoot 1 or 2 of those and keep him honest. He kind of cheated across there, although the pass didn't make it.
Stastny will send it down the ice, much to the delight of this crowd here in Denver. Which, while we were in commercial break, when Nick Kronwall got hurt, there were plenty of "Let's go Red Wing" chants that the crowd here didn't like. But plenty of Red Wing fans here at Pepsi Center tonight. That one doesn't work. Still 1:45 or 15 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3. And then plenty of time left from the major to Cody McLeod out of the game. Kindle goes down low with it. Datsuk looks. Gets it back from Kindle. Sticks in the lane by Colorado. Good job by them. Kindle switches off here with Alfredsson, and a shot went wide. 5-on-4 now with Ryan Wilson out of the box. Another shot off Varlamov's glove. Zetterberg picks it up. Alfredsson to Kindle. Wasn't in a great shooting position, sort of fanned on that. Picked up here again by Zetterberg. 1:10 remaining in the major. Penalty to Cody McLeod. Down low, scores! Great hands! Johan Franzen gets his first of the year from Henrik Zetterberg. And it's 1-0 Red Wings, a power play goal.
While Zetterberg stays hot again, making a beautiful pass down to Franzen. Zetterberg with the puck on the half boards. Plays a little give and go with Franzen, who goes for the net like he shouldn't. Great hands by the big man. Goes from the backhand to the forehand in a hurry, and top shelf on Varlamov, who really has no chance on it. It's such a quick move by Franzen, and that's what we need to see from Franzen, is plays like that, going to the net, generating that type of offense, and causing a little chaos in front of that goal there.
Red Wings get their 5th power play goal of the season, the first of the year, period, from Johan Franzen. And they lead 1-0 and have more power play time left, but there's a penalty coming here. We've got a slashing call. And that from referee Graham Skilleter. Mike Babcock looks on in wonderment.
Looks like that's not much of a slash by Bertuzzi.
Wow.
That's more or less a hockey play. You can see why he's upset going to the penalty box. Probably didn't even realize he was getting a penalty at the time until they called his number, but I'm not quite sure how that can be a penalty at this point in time after everything that's happened. Maybe the referees are trying to keep this thing tight after the hit on Kronwall and make sure things don't get out of control.
You could be nailed right on the head there. There's still time remaining in the McLeod major, so for the time being, teams 4 aside. Eriksson got held for sure, no call there. So the Red Wings down to 5 defensemen now as DeKeyser plays alongside Jonathan Eriksson. And again, DeKeyser playing the right side, being the left-hand shot. But he does not mind that at all and was playing the other side with Kyle Quincy anyway. Gustafsson with the save there. Off a good move into the middle by Paul Stastny. Back to the line for Andre Benoit. The former Senator had that shot deflect up high. Joachim Anderson will knock it back out to center. Benoit, who signed as a free agent after playing with Ottawa and had a very good year with the Senators. I'm surprised Ottawa let him go. So now, out of the box is Patrick Gordelow, who is serving the McLeod Major. So Colorado goes to the power play for a minute, as Ryan Wilson carries ahead. Missed 4 games with a knee injury. Benoit goes back to get it.
Great play by Glenn Denning. Reading the play, reading the pass that was ticketed towards Duchesne, picking that off and sending it back down the ice.
Backhanded into the right wing offensive corner by Steve Downing. Cleared by Quincy to the line, but not out. Kept in by Wilson. Duchesne down low with it. Out to the middle. Good save by Gustafson, who stayed with that one all the way to stop Ryan O'Reilly. Duchesne looks for an open man. O'Reilly heads in front of Gustafson. Tanguay feeds off. Turnaround play here by Duchesne. Gets it back from O'Reilly. That went off his skate. As Lashoff stayed with it, good job, and down the ice it goes. As the penalty to Todd Bertuzzi has now expired.
Quincy had an opportunity to get the puck out there, Ken, and it didn't happen. That's the importance of getting those pucks out the first time, and enabled Colorado to get 1 or 2 great scoring chances and a fabulous save by Gustafson.
Erickson gets hit by Jamie McGinn, the former San Jose Shark. He came over for TJ Gagliardi. McGinn a big body. Bertuzzi tries to clear it. So did Zetterberg. Didn't go, though. Now with control and cleared ahead to Zetterberg by Erickson, who finds Datsuk in full flight. Datsuk moving in, and a save by Varlamov. Knocked out of the air. And Bertuzzi with an opportunity. And then Zetterberg following up as well. So the Red Wings with 6 shots on goal to Colorado's 5, but they've got the one that matters from Johan Franzen. For those of you who have been in and out from this game, obviously with the Tigers and the Red Sox, this is what happened in the opening moments of the game. Cody McLeod hits Nick Kronwall, who had to be carried off on a board, then onto a stretcher. Cody McLeod got 5 minutes. The Red Wings wind up taking advantage with a power play goal from Johan Franzen. And here, as Kronwall's taken off, watch his right hand and the thumbs up right there. That's great to see, Nick. We're pulling for you. Trevor Thompson along with us. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood. We'll venture to get an update for you on that. And a reminder, Tigers Live postgame will come up after our game ends here tonight. So stay with us throughout the night on Fox Sports Detroit. Franzen with a shot that deflected wide. The Kaiser now paired with Jonathan Erickson in the absence of Nick Kronwall. Franzen, who's got the goal back for Abdelkader, who assisted on it. Zetterberg getting the other assist on that one. Abdelkader for Weiss, just missed out front. And an opportunity there for Franzen for a second of the evening.
Kenny, for me, Franzen's really played great the last 3 games. The last 3 games, he's taking initiative, he's skating, he's going to the net, he's finding the openings, he's shooting the puck again. This is the Franzen that the Red Wings need him to be. When he's like this, he's a power. He adds them another element of a big power forward that they need to be successful moving forward in this season.
Well, the end of last season, he had 13 points his final 13 games, finished well. Loose in front of the goal, and Cleary just couldn't get a shot away as it's brought on by McGinn. That went off his skate. Lashoff has to hustle. The speed of the Avalanche takes over, and Gustafson able to clear it aside.
That was great defensive coverage by the Red Wings after the turnover. They came back, realized who to take and where to go, and snuffed that out. Great play defensively.
McKinnon went down on the play, Nathan McKinnon. McGinn digging it free into McKinnon again, into the slot, and a turnaround shot. What a great start for the rookie Nathan McKinnon with a goal and 7 points. Points in 5 of 6 games. And he's second among rookies in scoring. Lead pass here to Daniel Alfredsson, who's been on a roll himself with 5 points the past 3 games. In deep for Nate Ginnon, playing with his 5th National Hockey League team. He spent last season with Norfolk in the American Hockey League, signed as a free agent over last summer. Gabriel Landeskog, their young captain. Paul Stastny moved up. Stastny, Landeskog firing, and coming out Gustafson. I don't know whether that caught side of the net too.
I'm not sure if he got his arm on it or if it hit the post. Either or, though, great play by Gustafson to come out, cut down the angle, and force the missed shot.
Puck into the corner. Hit hard in there was DeKeyser. Well, the Red Wings get a bit of a break. As you say, Gustafsson came out, but then appeared to glance off the post.
Yeah, for sure. This game has a early playoff feel to it, doesn't it?
Does,
Has a great atmosphere here in the rink tonight. Both teams playing hard. A lot of hits.
And a big hit there by Tutu on Ryan O'Reilly. One of the best thieves in the National Hockey League, number 90, along with Pavel Datsyuk, who lead the league year after year in takeaways. And what a great hit that was by Jordan Tutu. This from the Red Wings side of center, and it will be an icing.
And here's Jordan Tutu, who's provided some great energy for the Red Wings the last 3 games. Playing solid minutes when he gets out there, creating some excitement, some energy for the Red Wings with a huge hit. But he's the type of guy that sometimes his skill gets overlooked. He has good hands, he's a good playmaker, and he creates chaos and goes after the opposing defenseman of their team. They're always looking for him.
Duchesne helped win that faceoff, but Zetterberg will bring it to center. As the Red Wings in a 1-0 lead. Bertuzzi hearing the boos here. In front by Zetterberg, intercepted by O'Reilly. Colorado trailing, and they haven't trailed much this season. They trailed in that win over Dallas a couple of nights ago for about 7.5 minutes. They've only trailed around 12 minutes total the first 6 games this season. That's how good this Avalanche team has been. Long stretch pass there failed to click as Datsyuk sent it from his own side of center. So there will be another icing call. Pavel Datsyuk with 8 points in the season, 6 his past 3 games, and along with Zetterberg have just been terrific.
Oh, for sure, Kenny. You talked about how they haven't been trailing a lot this year, and they've been giving up a lot of shots. Now they give up 7 shots in the first period, most likely their lowest total, and they're down 1-0. This game is funny sometimes.
They've given up 212 shots against coming into play tonight, 41 each of their past 2 games. They give up 5 more than they get, but as you speak of, boy, they can score. And that helps. Do you not find a guy like Varlamov does shoot out a lot of rebounds that the Red Wings may be able to take advantage of?
He most certainly does on the power play, especially. A bunch of them came out. They had opportunities. They need to get to the net, get in front of them. And here another penalty, I believe, against the Red Wings. They're going to put Colorado on the power play here when we come back.
So it is 1-0. Red Wings leading. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Leafs and Hurricanes, and watch the weird bounce. Ron Hainsey clears it down the ice, and it ends up in the back of the net. 3-2 Carolina in the third. Now back to Ken and Ozzy in Denver.
Justin, you know, at altitude, taking penalties doesn't help. You got to keep short shifts, especially early. Were you ever tuckered out playing here in Denver?
Yeah, for me, I really felt it early in the first period or during the first on penalty kills. When the other team, when the Colorado had a lot of in-zone time, we couldn't get pucks out, is when you really feel it.
Here, Colorado goes to their second power play. They had 1 shot on their first. They have 6 for the game. Down 1-0. Johan Franzen, the power play goal in this game. The Red Wings have lost Nick Kronwall due to injury, likely for the night. Comes back to the line. Johnson nearly lost it. Eric Johnson, though, moves it over to P.A. Parento. Tied for the scoring lead with Matt Duchesne a season ago here. Outstretched stick as Johnson held it in. Good hustle by Glendening to check him, and he got good support, and DeKeyser sends it down the ice.
And that Glendening sure has instincts for a young player. He always seems to be in the right position at the right time, and he does the right thing when he does get the puck, and that sense, he sends it the distance of the ice and makes the Avs come all the way down again.
Gabriel Landeskog, the youngest captain in NHL history, couldn't get anywhere with it. Parento did not keep it in. He thought he did for a moment, but he did not. So the faceoff will come outside the Red Wing line.
Ken, I really think in this winning streak the Red Wings have been on, their special teams have been key to that. Their penalty killing has been great. The forwards were hounding the defense of Colorado. They're not allowing them a lot of time to make the play they wanted. And what happened then is, a couple times down the ice, they couldn't get back in the zone. Now they seem to be in the driver's seat for killing us off right now.
Andre Benoit circled back into his own zone. Brought down here by Alex Tanguay. First time back with the Avalanche since he departed in 06 after some great years. Tanguay's got it down low, and getting a piece of that was Lashoff with a one-timer from Steve Downing.
Another young player with a great read. Lashoff noticing the shot pass, got a stick in the lane and tipped it away.
Downey goes high slot again down low, and they just missed. Some nice passing there from the Avalanches. Duchesne couldn't bury it. Quincy out there on defense for the Red Wings. Spent 3 years here with Colorado. Knocked down by Benoit. A jump up to get that one and a good play to hold it in. Cleary forcing O'Reilly, who goes back here to Tanguay, and a shot and a save by Gustafsson. Ryan O'Reilly with it again. 2 goals in the season for him thus far. Matt Duchesne feathered one through. Tanguay to Downey to Benoit, wide of the net. Quincy with a stick in the lane with help from Cleary.
Got to get that down.
And it comes out to center as Joachim Andersen knocked it away. Colorado in the midst of a change. And as the penalty to Stephen Weiss is now over. Here's Datsyuk. Lead pass for Zetterberg found its way through as Nathan MacKinnon couldn't keep control of it. Puck into the corner for Datsyuk, working there along with Alfredsson. Back for Datsyuk to Alfredsson again. He'll give chase into the far corner along with Jan Hejda. Zetterberg got a stick in there. Alfredsson with some good work to keep that puck in control of Detroit. Gets the return pass from Zetterberg. Alfredsson goes back to the line for De Keyser, and a shot tipped in front of the goal. Scores! Pavel Datsyuk off the rebound with those magic hands he owns, and it's 2-0 Detroit. Listen to this crowd and the Red Wings supporters.
More magic here from Pavel Datsyuk. Goes to the front. De Keyser makes a nice play to get this through. Beautiful tip initially. Gathers up his own rebound and buries it. And that's the difference between a guy that doesn't score a lot compared to a guy that does. The second opportunity is absolutely buried into the net in a hurry to put the Wings up 2-0.
So the Red Wings in a 2-0 lead on their 10th shot on goal. Pavel Datsyuk does it again. His 3rd goal, his 9th point, and 7th point his past 3 games in about 15 minutes or so.
And for me, coming off, again, a big penalty kill and some big saves by Gustin, just like the previous 2 games, come down the other end and score a goal to put them up 2-0. Momentum from a penalty kill, Ken.
This is the first time the Avalanche have been down by 2 goals this season. In this, their 7th game. Remember, they are 6-0 on the year. And Patrick Roy attempting to become the first coach to win his first 7 starts. We have an update on Niklas Kronwall from Todd Beam and our Red Wings staff. Niklas Kronwall suffered a concussion along with cuts to his right ear, and he will not return to the game tonight. He has movement and feelings in all extremities. He is being treated in the Detroit dressing room, and the good news will not need to be transported to any local hospital. So our thanks to Todd Beam for that, and the great news for Nick Kronwall. So far, so good for him. That's terrific. And the Red Wings in a 2-0 lead, and that'll make Nick feel a little bit better, I would think, as well. Could prove to be the catalyst in this game. Sometimes you've seen it, Chris, right? Bad hit, a player and a teammate, and the guys dig in even deeper as the game moves along.
Ken, for me, that was a hockey play gone bad, and thankfully it's worked out for everyone.
Save made there by Gustafsson off Gabriel Landeskog. Get the $59 fan pack to see the Wings take on the Sharks October 21st, or see them battle the Senators and Daniel Alfredsson against Ottawa on October 23rd. You get 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 soft drinks for just $59. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com. Face off to the right of Gustafsson, making a 3rd straight start. Nathan MacKinnon and Joachim Andersen on the draw as MacKinnon breaks his stick. This will be icing once the players reach the face-off dot and the opposition ends. The face-off will come back down ice. Patrick Roy, his team, a 6-0 start. And by winning the first 6 games as a rookie head coach, Roy sets a franchise record, bettering Mark Crawford's record from the Nordiques by 1. And he ties the NHL record of Mario Tremblay, who won his first 6 games as a rookie head coach with Montreal in '95, a team Patrick played for and ultimately helped end Mario's career as a head coach there. More on that game when Detroit stomped on Montreal later as this game moves along, I'm sure. Alfredson backhands it out to center. So the Avalanche in an unfamiliar position here. Cleary to Anderson, and a blocker stop made by Semyon Varlamov.
You know, Ken, for me here in the first period, the success that the Wings have had, not only special teams, but they've skated with Colorado. They've been right with them. We've talked about how quick they are, how quick their young players are. They kept up, if not skated faster, and they've skated well. They've went to the net, and they've earned everything they've gotten here in the first period by using their speed, something that Colorado was hoping to use against the Red Wings.
Kyle Quincy, USA, spent 3 years here in Colorado, and Quincy was involved in the three-way deal with Tampa Bay and the Red Wings, involving a first-round pick from Detroit that saw Steve Downey come here to Colorado from Steve Yzerman's Lightning, and Downey now on the top line with Duchesne and Ryan O'Reilly, who's moved from center to wing. The Kaiser, long stretch pass ahead for Bertuzzi. Tipped through by Datsyuk, knocked back out to center. Bertuzzi with some good work on O'Reilly, knocked him down. Back to retrieve it goes Quincy for Zetterberg. Rink wide to Bertuzzi. Datsyuk on the move, takes it. Saw Hayda coming, pulled up. Around Eric Johnson, didn't pick it up. Here's Datsyuk with a shot. On a great feed again from Zetterberg. Datsyuk moves in. Kept it alive. Matt Duchesne in the corner. Duchesne will skate it out. Great speed, and he's in the clear. Boy, you won't catch him. Duchesne in all alone, and a good save there by Gustafsson.
Oh, what a save.
And he thought, and right there, Tim Peel's telling Matt Duchesne, no, Kindle's stick got you on your hip. He didn't hook you. Duchesne wanted a penalty.
Just a pinch here by Eriksson without any support behind. Duchesne, very good skater, comes in. Gustin does a fabulous job of staying with him and making the save and covering it up. Here he is, a nice move by Duchesne. Gustin stayed with him, and that's the confidence he gained from the last 2 games he played, Kent. He's making these saves look easy. He's big, and he's efficient in there.
And Kindle obviously pestered Duchesne just enough with the outreach of the stick. And as you say, great play by Gustafsson.
And the big save with only 2 minutes left in the first period. Great save at a great time.
Shots are 12-9 Detroit. The Kaiser gets hit back of the goal. Following up is Weiss. Weiss with a good move to get away from Tanguay. A bouncing puck at center. Weiss is on Tanguay, knocks him down. Abdelkader will skate the other way. Stastny stopped him in his tracks, and the Red Wings will regroup.
Like we said before, a great atmosphere, playoff-type atmosphere. A lot of hitting. Of all the games the Red Wings have played tonight, would you have guessed this would be one of them with the most hitting we've seen so far?
I just thought the Red Wings would have to keep up with the track meet, but as you mentioned, they have. They've step for step with the Avalanche tonight. I didn't see the hitting part coming, but 2-2. Never one to shy away from that. Puck's loose here for Alfredson. Benoit clears around. Puck deflects in front. And Benoit with a good play. Parenteau's pass knocked down. Loose here. Miller comes in for Glendening. Tried to play it back, didn't work. John Mitchell for Colorado moves it. Along with McGinn. Jamie McGinn shot. Goes in and gets it. McGinn turning. Glendening all over him. Puck loose and knocked away to the corner by Lashoff, and a good play by Kindle.
Nice shift by the Red Wings' fourth line. Young Glendening, instead of trying to force a pass inside with under a minute left, keep the puck deep. Get a line change. Waste a little bit of time off the clock because you don't want to give a goal up in that last minute.
Hayda. Forced by Zetterberg to move it. Around to Steve Downey. 15 to go in the opening period. Eriksson will chase there along with O'Reilly. Hit him to the boards. Datsyuk to the line, but not out. Gustafsson deflects it off to the corner. Ryan O'Reilly chipped one back for Matt Duchesne. Eriksson trying to contain him. Duchesne to Downey. A chance here for the Avalanche, but time will expire. So the Red Wings lead 2-0. 20 minutes in the books in our Ram intermission. And if you saw the pregame, or if you didn't, stay tuned with us during the intermissions tonight. Chris Osgood with his first interview on our Red Wing broadcast team. Gets to chat with one of the legends, Patrick Roy, and it was terrific and a lot of fun. I think Patrick had a great time. You'll see that in our intermissions tonight. We aired it in the pregame, and you'll also see it online as of tomorrow on FoxSportsDetroit.com, and some of it later tonight, too, on our website, and all of it tomorrow. Chris, we're going to make you a star in the booth, and the first night you're on board. To Darren and Justin in the studio.
Kenny, thanks. This intermission report is presented by Ram Trucks, engineered to move heaven and earth. Guts, glory, Ram. Justin White, Darren Elliott here with you in the studio. 2-0 Wings after 1 in Denver. We'll get to the hit on Nicholas Cromwell in just a moment, but Darren, your thoughts on a first period that sees the Wings up 2-0 on the undefeated Avalanche?
Oh, J-Dub, what we talked about was who's going to control the pace and style of play. It has been the Red Wings, and what I really like, Ozzy talked about it, they've been quick with the puck, but they've also been heavy, as the coach likes to call it, with the puck along the boards. I think it set up a lot of their offense.
All right, a couple minutes into this one, a very scary moment as Nicholas Cromwell was hit from behind by Cody McLeod, and he was taken off the ice on a stretcher. Darren, what did you see on the play?
Well, frightening in terms of the result, and one of the things is Cody McLeod has a history. He hit Jared Spurgeon 2 years ago from behind. In this instance, you can see Cromwell turns back into the check, and I think the check behind it. John Mitchell, watch John Mitchell launch into Luke Glendening right there after the play. Was just about as dirty. But watch Cromwell here. McLeod does have the responsibility in today's game that he has to hold up, but in that instance, Cromwell turned back into the play. Let's face it, Cody McLeod is not the greatest skater in the world, so he's a straight line kind of guy. But I thought John Mitchell launching of Glendening, it shows a couple things. These guys, they forecheck aggressively. They're maybe a little bit dirty playing on edge, and we're great to hear that Nicholas Cromwell is, by all intents and purposes, for the most part, okay, because it's frightening.
Yeah, that was the word from the Red Wings. Great news. Nicholas Cromwell out for the rest of the game with a concussion and some cuts on his face, but he has movement in all of his extremities, and that is certainly great news to hear. Much more still to come on this first intermission report. Wings up 2-0 on the Avalanche. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, if a Detroit player gets a hat trick in this game, bring a copy of the scoring summary to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of that scoring summary in your newspaper or on the Red Wings page at FoxSportsDetroit.com. Well, as we know, Mike Babcock's going to head up the Canadian Olympic team in Sochi, Russia this February, and Matt Duchene was invited to the Olympic orientation camp in Calgary in the summer. He said he loved the experience, and as Matt told me this morning, don't think I'm not pumped tonight to show Mike Babcock I can be the best I can be. He's a center. Team Canada will have too many. If he's going to play in the Canadian team with his speed, he's going to go as a winger, and he's great buddies with Sidney Crosby. They work out together in the summer along with Nathan McKinnon. He'd like nothing better than to play on Crosby's wing and it not be a guy like Chris Kunitz. But plenty of decisions to make, but Matt Duchene's a good one.
Well, I got him off to a good start in his career. First career goal against me. He's a great player, though.
Thanks for doing that, Chris.
He's strong in the puck. He's one of those guys has a legitimate chance to make Team Canada. Tonight so far with the speed, he's playing well.
Here's Stastny to Tanguay. Return pass. Gustafsson get the leg down. Oh, what a stop!
Wow.
Great save by Jonas Gustafsson, who gets his goal stick back on some help from Jakob Kindl, who gave him it back. Here's Stastny in back of the goal. Tanguay looks to the front of the net. So some pressure from this Colorado line looking to get within a goal in this game. First time Colorado's been down by 2 this season, and there's a penalty coming here. Todd Bertuzzi goes back to the box. Jonas Gustafsson keeps the Avs off the board.
Just a great save here by Gustafsson. A battle save off the Kaiser deflection, but this one, what a great save. Just off his glove. This is the battle that we saw in Boston. A never give up attitude, always battling, throwing anything he can at the puck. And that goes from hard work and practice. He's been working hard for a long, long time. And when you do that and battle every puck, you make saves like that in a game.
So Todd Bertuzzi is in the box, holding the call. So Colorado goes to a power play, their third of the game. The Avalanche power play came into the game tonight tied with the Red Wings for 19th in the league at 4 for 21. Detroit has scored a power play goal tonight from Franzen and get the puck down the ice there.
Underrated play by Gustin stopping that behind the net for the defense. And a great out. It's important to get that puck all the way down the ice, killing penalties, not to give up those second and third chances. Get it down the first time.
Good play there by Cleary. Matt Duchene will send one back. Andre Benoit shooting it in, rims around right to Kaiser, and he got enough on that to get it down the ice. P.A. Parenteau. 3 goals and 7 points in the season for him. 43 last year, tied with Duchene for the team lead on the Avalanche in a 48-game season. Erik Johnson went off the stick of Kaiser and wide. Parenteau put it in back of the net. Paul Stastny to Johnson and a save by Gustafsson. Rebound at the goal post. Oh, it hit the post, stays out. The Avs working here, man advantage. Johnson again with it. Threw it rink wide. Here's to Landeskog. That shot was blocked. Cleary got in front of it. Ricochets to Stastny. To the line to Johnson. A save by Gustafsson out of the air. Parenteau couldn't knock it down and sent down the ice.
Well, although it hit the post there, Ken, to me, Gustafsson battling his way over there, creating the shot that maybe he didn't want to make off the post and out of the net again. Red Wings penalty killing has been good. A couple nice
Scores!
spots.
Erik Johnson.
Such a great job of killing the penalty up into this point. More or less a rush goal. Erik Johnson coming down the right side. Through the arm of Gustafsson, who was in the right position. He was out of the blue. He was big. To me, it found a hole. Disappointing because the Red Wings penalty killing has been so good tonight. To have this happen late. 7 seconds left in the penalty. A shot that probably Gustafsson, you can see his reaction, would want to have back. But he's got to let this go and just continue to play like he has been playing for the whole night.
That gives Colorado life here at a power play goal. Semyon Varlamov, the goaltender, gets an assist on Erik Johnson's first of the year and a power play goal at 2:36. So each team with a power play marker here tonight. Quincy goes here to Weiss. Back for Franzen. Good job just to stay with it. Then lost it again. His stick gets held. He got tangled up with O'Reilly. Johnny Mitchell. Got it back to the line. Sarich over to Benoit, and it came out across the line offside.
Well, that sure was close. To me, like we talked about this morning, Ken, at the rink, like we talked about before the game, this team seems to be taking on Patrick Roy's attitude and personality. Down 2-0 to a veteran Red Wing team. They're a young team. They're continuing to take it to the Red Wings, skating hard, going to the net, creating power play opportunities for themselves. And like we said, here comes Johnson down the right side through. Gustafsson was in the right position. It found a hole, but it's a goal. As you can tell from his reaction, he would love to have back.
You would have, right? You would have wanted it back.
I would have loved to have that back.
Yeah, exactly.
Even right now, I would love to have it back.
You're not even in there, yeah? So Datsuk will knock it down. That pass knocked away before it could go to Bertuzzi, and back to get it goes Erik Johnson. It was a big deal made with St. Louis to get Johnson. Shattenkirk going the other way. Stewart knocked down by Zetterberg, and a second effort out of the air and cleared it to center. The Avalanche have given up 2 goals tonight. They gave up 2 in a 3-2 win over Dallas. So now in their 7 games, they've only given up 2 goals twice. That's been it. And we get a little closer in this one. Alfredsson couldn't bust through. Anderson with Cleary, who gets taken to the boards by Sarch. Turning back in his own zone, P.A. Parenteau, the former Islander. Gustafsson will play it. Tipped ahead for Cleary. Alfredson to Kindle. Fought off by Varlamov. Alfredson went back for Cleary at the left point. Knocked down in front by Parenteau, who wants off. Oh, that hit Alfredson right in the head on the clearing attempt inadvertently. Parenteau and Alfredson will go right down to the Red Wing dressing room with Pete Van Zandt, the Red Wings athletic therapist, in tow. Oh, a stumble there by Quincy. Allows Mitchell to hold it in, but only momentarily. So the Red Wings, who already lost Nick Kronwall for the night, for the time being without Daniel Alfredson, as Detroit goes in offside. Well, that was Jamie McGinn who took the shot. We've had 155 hit the other 55, and now 11. Hitting 11 tonight as McGinn shot that one into the left ear.
Well, let's hope
of Daniel Alfredson.
Let's hope Alfredson, who's been playing so well of late, mixing in well with Pavel Datsyuk, Hedder Zetterberg in the power play, is going to be missed for a long period of time. Get him back out there because he's going to be a very useful player the rest of this game for sure.
Gustafsson couldn't play it outside the trapezoid. De Kaiser tried to help it around, didn't go. Tanguay put it back into the slot. 2-2 was there, gets knocked down. The shot hit a leg in front. Mitchell turns with it. Getting open in front was Bordeleau. Sticked aside before Patrick Bordeleau could get an attempt. Hayda. As the Avalanche send one back. They say no icing as De Kaiser could have got there. Danny De Kaiser with an assist tonight. Brought back in by Duchesne, who stops and turns inside the line. Hit a leg. Knocked away by Kindle. Another save. Duchesne fanned on it. Hopped off his stick. Eric Johnson. Up behind the Red Wing goal. Weiss moved it along to Kindle. Abdelkader got knocked down before he could make a play. Back in come the Avalanche. Matt Duchesne, a spin around away from Stephen Weiss. Backhanded one that went off a skate of De Kaiser. Duchesne in back of the goal. In front. Missing that was O'Reilly. Alfredson back on the Red Wing benches. Franzen carries through. And a shot and a save by Varlamov. Johnson off the glass. Datsyuk couldn't keep it in. Hurrying back goes Jonathan Ericsson. Quincy got it to center ice. Sent back by Corey Sarich. Puck came loose side of the goal, moved by Datsyuk, on now Bertuzzi. Zetterberg. Tanguay covers him. To Jan Hayden. The dependable defensive defenseman. And a play made by Stastny. Landeskog picked away by the thief Pavel Datsyuk. So the Avalanche look to regroup.
Two things the Red Wings need to do to change the tide here this period. They only have 2 shots up to this point, 8 minutes in. Let's get that speed back, skating, and a lot less turnovers. Far too many in their own zone causing them problems.
First of 2 meetings this season. No longer in the same conference.
Great play by Dan Cleary there.
Cleared as the Avalanche have to get out of the zone. The next meeting will be at Joe Louis Arena March 6th. Nick Lidstrom retirement sweater night. Puck came in across the line and the Avalanche come right back. Into the slot for Wilson. Could never get a shot. A try by McGinn. Wilson another try. And Daniel Cleary gets it away. And Nate Gennon goes back to pick it up. Wings beginning one of just 3 Western trips this season, as opposed to 5 or 6 previously. This is a quick 2-game ride that will end in Phoenix on Saturday night here on Fox Sports Detroit. 2-2 comes in. Knocked off Glendening's stick. 2-2 looking for it. Glendening battling. Nate Gennon gets it to center. Jakob Kindle. And again, the Red Wings down to 5 defensemen tonight.
For sure, I would say what the Red Wings need to do is get pucks deep. If you're to look at this Colorado Avalanche team, the place you want to attack is their defense. They got to get pucks deep, make them turn, go back for pucks, create their own turnovers, and get some chances on Varlamov here. With only 2 shots, almost halfway through the second.
As we approach the halfway point in this game, and a shot by Landeskog was stopped by Gustafsson. From 95 to 02 over 7 seasons, 5 cups between these two franchises, 3 to Detroit. And yes, the rivalry isn't what it once was, but with Patrick Roy standing in back of that Avalanche bench, getting a little hot and heavy. See Gustafsson off Duchesne. Downey with a drive, and Jonas Gustafsson will stop the play. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. We mentioned that Patrick Roy has tied the NHL record of his former head coach Mario Tremblay, who won the first 6 games as rookie head coach with Montreal in '95. Mario took over the Habs 0-5, won his first 6, but 6 weeks later, he left Patrick Roy in a game too long. 9 goals later, Patrick Roy turned to then President Ronald Corey and said, "I play my last game for you," as he walks in front of Mario Tremblay. So Detroit put 9 past him that night in an 11-1 win, and the irony is just oozing tonight as Patrick Roy looks to set the record, break Mario Tremblay's record as a rookie head coach to win his first 7 games, and it comes against Detroit.
For sure, things in this game have a funny way of working themselves out. I wonder if Mario is watching right now somewhere.
I think he is. I just have a feeling. I think he is. And you spoke with Patrick Roy about that night in a long interview you had with him this morning as Bertuzzi carries in. And we'll have more on that in our second intermission. Zetterberg in back of the goal. Zetterberg turns with it to the net. Varlamov knocked that puck away. And again tomorrow on FoxSportsDetroit.com, the entire 14-minute interview, Patrick Roy with Chris Osgood, and the night that they fought on April 1st of '98. More on that too. In Landeskog, and a shot deflected wide. Quincy for Zetterberg. Sarge lost it for Bertuzzi in front, but nobody there as the Red Wings were in the midst of a change.
Yeah, for me right now, the Red Wings are playing with fire with the amount of turnovers that are going on right now. They got to stop that now. If this continues, they could find themselves in a 2-2 tie. They got to start playing simple hockey.
Down the wing comes Downey in front, and Duchesne just missed it.
Great play by Kimball on that to tip that away.
Alfredson got it to the line and out at center. Back to get it, Ryan O'Reilly. Played ahead by Sarge. For Duchesne, checked at center. Brought back in by O'Reilly, saved Gustafsson, rebound went high and out of play. So we talk April 1st of '98. You remember this well, and you conversed with Patrick Roy about it this morning. We'll bring you that when we come back.
What were you thinking when you came after me at center ice? What were you thinking exactly? Because I was
Other
thinking,
than kick the shit out of you?
I was thinking, well, I guess I was thinking, holy shit, what is going to happen? That's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, it's
You're a big guy. Like, you were a big guy.
yeah, you surprised me too.
I love it. That was great. You were in heaven this morning. I think Patrick was too. He told John Martineau, their PR director, how much he was looking forward to speaking with you. It was great to see. And again, FoxSportsDetroit.com tomorrow for the entire interview. Brandon and Red Wings live, and more of it right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah, most certainly it was a lot of fun, Kenny. I was surprised. I was more nervous for that than I was for my first game ever at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Really? Interesting. McGinn with a backhander that goes wide of the goal. And here's a break for the Red Wings as Franzen carries in. He's got Abdelkader with him. It's a 2-on-1. Abdelkader to Franzen, boy. That was high and out of the air and knocked down with a high stick. And I think there maybe, Chris, that Justin Abdelkader missed a great chance to shoot.
I was thinking the exact same thing when he was going down. I almost said, Justin, you should probably shoot. Here's a 2-on-1. He's in a great shooting position right here. A low percentage pass across the Franzen. Even if it's a great pass, it's difficult for that pass to get across there, especially when the shots this period so far 10-3 favoring Colorado. They haven't had a lot of chances. They got to get the puck on the net.
Knocked away from Zetterberg. So for the most part, Patrick Roy had Stastny and Landeskog and Tanguay against the Datsuk, Bertuzzi, and Zetterberg line tonight. With Johnson and Hayda, more of his concern is his defensive shutdown duel. Hayda's got it now. Johnson a wide edge for Colorado this period. Datsuk carries through, knocked away.
Nice defensive play by Colorado there. You see, it's ironic the shots. They've only given up 15 shots here. We're almost through 2 periods. They've given up 41 the last 2 games, and now they're down. And all these other games they were leading.
Right.
So for me, Patrick Waugh is happy with the way they played, but not the score thus far.
Don't get shut out from the best matchups of the season. Get a Red Wings 10 or 20 game plan and choose your own games to fit your schedule. Call 313-471-7575 during normal business hours or visit DetroitRedWings.com. Yeah, the Avalanche have given up 41 shots each of the past 2 games. So you're right. Yeah, reversal here.
This here is an important shift for the fourth line with 7 minutes to go here in the second. Provide some energy, get the puck deep, get some cycles going, throw the puck in the net, maybe get an ugly, dirty goal that put him up 3-1.
Well, Drew Miller just got knocked down, went back at Sarich, who goes back at Miller, and they're going to fight. And a save by Varlamov. They've stopped the play. And back at center ice, Sarich and Drew Miller.
Well, this is something we don't see very often, is it?
The Avalanche and Red Wings rivalry renewed. They may only meet twice now in a season, but they're making the most of this game 1. We maybe didn't think we'd see 2 at center ice like Osgood and Waugh, but we have again.
Well, I wasn't really expecting Miller to be the fighter. More so we were expecting a guy like Tutu, but Miller playing. I thought the last 3 games he's been aggressive. He's been more to the point. He's got himself more involved.
He didn't like the first hit from Sarich.
No, and here he's had enough, and he has to do this to command respect. He's on the fourth line with Jordan Tutu. This kind of thing is going to happen. He's going to have to fight for himself sometimes. And overall, Kenny, I thought he did a pretty good job.
You did. Well, Patrick Waugh was saying today how he wants the crowd back in this building. And it's really changed, as he was saying, since his last game in here. It seemed that Denver and Chicago have traded places on the hockey map. Every game now in Chicago became an event as the Blackhawks and the crowds returned. I think maybe TV and home games maybe helped in that regard as well. However, he wants to see that in this building, and the crowd here is certainly up for this one, and they're returning here to Denver.
And I'd have to think the event with Bruce Boudreau had a little bit of something to do with that. Patrick Waugh,
yeah,
being the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, a legendary player here in Denver, going at it with a partition against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, but he adds a certain type of energy, and like we said 2 times previous, playoff atmosphere early in the season.
Here's a break at center, brought on by Glendening.
Avalanche penalty, number 16, Corey Sarich. 5 minutes for fighting.
So 5 minutes for fighting on that play.
Of the second period.
And the Red Wings get the extra 2. Served by Abdelkader, so the extra 2 to Miller. The original cross-check to Drew Miller, and then the 5 each for fighting. So it's a Colorado power play here. Johnson with a good left wing pass in. Landeskog ran out of real estate. Staying with him was Lashoff, side of the net. Puck knocked away, Downey. Each team has a power play goal tonight. Benoit to Landeskog for Duchesne. Landeskog, save made, kicked away, and sent the length to the ice by Daniel Cleary.
Gustafson's holding that left post very strong right now. He did last game as well. In Boston, he did, but it wasn't the same. He looks confident. He looks strong. He looks like he's not going to get pushed around in there right now. Colorado moving the puck around. Red Wings doing a good job of keeping them to the outside.
That play goes offside.
Jonas Gustafsson, not known for his puck playing prowess, but has made 2 or 3 nice plays on the penalty kill for the Red Wings, stopping pucks behind the net. Here holding the post just like he did against Columbus. Strong. Shoulders are up.
Right off the draw, in comes Landeskog. Scores! He may want that one back too.
Well, for me, very similar to the first goal. Red Wings doing a great job of killing the penalty here, kind of off a broken play, off a face-off. Comes in a quick snapshot. Again, Gustafsson in the right position. Again, to me, one that he would want back. As he looks, I'm not sure if it hit Eriksson's stick. Maybe it did. But definitely, it's not deflating, but disappointing after the way the Red Wings have killed both penalty kills. Done a good job of killing the power plays off of Colorado. And they give up 2 goals like that, kind of off broken plays, is tough. Now they're going to have to bounce back here.
So the Calder Trophy winner from 2012, who had 5 shots last game against Dallas, gets his first goal of the season. The captain does, as Colorado is 2 for 4 on the power play. And they fought back from a 2-0 deficit to tie the game at 2s.
Goal of the season, number 92, Gabriel Landeskog.
And both of the goals they have, power play goals, are not really your typical power play goals. They were shots that stoppable for Gustafsson. Stastny getting the helper on that one, 14-42. Franzen goes in to get it. Picked up by McGinn. His pass just too far for Parenteau.
Last 4 minutes here, the Red Wings are going to need some in-zone time against the Colorado Avalanche. Get that puck in deep, battle in the corners, and get that thing to the net. Maybe get a goal here to go up 3-2 going into the third period.
Here's Alfredsson. Back to the line. Oh, and DeKeyser just sent it wide. Anderson. For Alfredsson. Penalty coming here to the Avalanche, Johnny Mitchell. So when we return to the Pepsi Center, the Red Wings will go to a Bell Tire power play.
Game break brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Penguins and Flyers. Pens up 2-1 in the third. And watch Pascal Dupuis with a gorgeous pass to Sidney Crosby. His 6th of the season. Penguins win 4-1. Now back to Ken and Chris in Denver, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, Pavel Datsyuk, as the Red Wings here are in a 2-2 tie, along with Henrik Zetterberg, his line mate, and Daniel Alfredsson, who does not play with those two. But in the last 3 games, plus nearly the 40 minutes tonight, look at the numbers they have put up. Remarkable numbers, with 8 points for Pavel and 7 for Henrik, and 7 for Daniel Alfredsson.
Avalanche penalty, number 7, John Mitchell.
Well, the Red Wings have not had a shot on goal the last 5 minutes here, but they're on a Bell Tire power play now with Johnny Mitchell in the box for tripping. Datsyuk trying to take it away. Alfredsson circles back in his own zone. To Zetterberg. Knocked off his stick. Hit Datsyuk on the outlet try by Tanguay and just batted to center by Hayden. Zetterberg has to turn to get it for Kindle. This is where the absence of Kronwall in one of 2 units will hurt Detroit. He was injured early in the game in the first period, done for the night. Zetterberg back here to Alfredsson, over here to Kindle. In front is Bertuzzi, who tipped it. Tries to kick at it, and Varlamov will get a trapper on it and hang on. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
A good play by Kindle here, just to toss us on the net with net front presence by Todd Bertuzzi banging away. You never know when that might bounce off Varlamov or hit Bertuzzi and go up front for an open net, back door, bang in goal. But Red Wings got to get organized here and take advantage of this late power play here in the second.
Just over 3 to play here in period number 2. Red Wings had a 2-0 lead Colorado has responded with 2 power play shots that found their way past Jonas Gustafsson. After Franzen and Datsuk had scored for Detroit. Mishandled by DeKeyser. Turnaround by Weiss. Back in front. And DeKeyser had to hurry just to get that shot away. Gabriel Landeskog with Quincy coming to cut him off. Landeskog circles the goal, trying to wrap around. That was close.
Most certainly was.
And again, with those nets a little tighter up to 8 inches in the back end, a little easier to make those wraparound attempts.
All the games I've watched, that's the first time I've seen. That's a big difference in me. He certainly got around there in a hurry and made a play that didn't seem like it was dangerous into a dangerous play.
Franzen dropped it back for Abdelkader, overskated, got it back though, but Quincy was in the midst of a change. And that'll do it for the advantage. So the Red Wings 1 for 4 on the power play. None on that last one in terms of shots. There's still just 15 for the game. There's number 16 from Anderson. Held by Semyon Varlamov. The netminder who was the Washington Capitals' first-round pick, 23rd overall in 06, and was acquired from the Caps for a first and second round 2 summers ago, and it seems like his teammates really have faith in him.
Well, last year even, he had a very good year on a Colorado team that just wasn't that good. And I think one of the most underrated goaltenders in the National Hockey League is playing great this year. Has a great goalie coach in Francois Allaire that he worked with exclusively this summer by himself to get to know, to get that relationship going where they could trust each other. And now he has Patrick Roy standing behind the bench. Doesn't get much better than that for motivation to be a goalie playing for a Hall of Fame goaltender.
And you spoke with Patrick in that interview, and he tries to stay out of things with the netminder. He does leave that to Francois Allaire, unless, as he said at times, he's told Varlamov, slow down the pace of the game, hold the pucks. You can change the pace of the game as a goalie. But yeah, he's got a lot of knowledge of which to rely upon, to Semyon Varlamov. Red Wings need to get him working a little more here. Eriksson, Alfredsson missed it. As the Avs regroup, Landeskog in for Stastny. Eriksson to Alfredsson, couldn't hold it in. They'll make the play with it. Colorado dumps one down ice. We're in the final minute here of period number 2.
Just
in a sold-out Pepsi Center.
Just not a lot of puck possession for the Red Wings this period. They've been chasing. They haven't had the puck. They've been turning pucks over. I don't want to call them hope plays, but just not high percentage plays in their own zone tonight and in Colorado's zone, turning it over way too much and just not having the puck.
Joachim Anderson will flip it deep. Up ahead for Parenteau. Over McGinn's stick. 2-2 turns, overskates, gets some help from Glendening. 2-2 picks it up, rising shot for Varlamov stop. 2-2 took a whack at the puck.
Keep throwing that puck on the net like that. He's given up rebounds, tried to catch that, and it came out again.
Chip back in, and DeKeyser will turn with it. Franzen across center and down with the seconds clicking off the clock here in period number 2, and that'll do it. Shots 23-17 through 40. For Colorado, we're all even at 2. In our intermission report, brought to you by MGM Grand Detroit, Dustin and Darren break down the Red Wings penalty killing, and Johan Franzen with a goal tonight, as Johan opened the scoring, a power play goal, followed up by Datsuk. They scored 2 in the first. Colorado replies with 2 in the second. What a third we'll have coming up for you. But first to the studio we go, and Justin.
Kenny, thanks. This intermission report is presented by MGM Grand Detroit. 2 periods in the books from Colorado, and we are all tied up at 2. Justin White, Darren Elliott with you here in the studio. And Darren, as well as that first period went for the Wings, the second period, what was that all about?
They didn't have their earpiece in either. They weren't ready to. They weren't ready.
Start on time, right?
They weren't ready to play in that second period. They took a penalty in the first minute in the defensive zone and really never recovered. So if this was a prize fight, first round, Red Wings did everything they wanted to do. Second round goes to the Avs, up for grabs in the third.
They'll look to throw the knockout punch in the third. Drew Miller already throwing punches in the second period. One bright spot for the Wings thus far, Johan Franzen. We talked about it on the pregame show. Mule likes to play against Colorado. 3 career hat tricks against the Avs, and you like what you've seen from him tonight.
Picking him up, putting him down, and he's really generating some good offense. I mean, this is some sweet hands on the power play in the first. Nice feed from Zetterberg, but the backing into the front of the net and then being able to handle it in the second period, that was the best chance for anyone on the Red Wings in that second period. And then here again, Abdelkader probably should have shot, tried to pass, but there it was again. Franzen in on the offense as he's been all night long.
Yeah, that Franzen shot, one of just 5 shots on goal for the Wings in that second period. And Darren, as far as the penalty kill goes for the Wings, a Colorado goal coming as a result of some neutral zone issues on the PK for Detroit.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the Erik Johnson goal, the goal that got things going for the Avalanche in that second period, and it's awfully reminiscent of a power play goal they gave up against the Columbus Blue Jackets. You don't see this very often in the NHL anymore. End to end, coast to coast. Cam Atkinson did just that against the Red Wings, because otherwise their penalty kill has been pretty solid throughout the season. Tonight, here's Erik Johnson picking his way, and yes, the save should have been made, but the fact remains that another opponent went coast to coast and scored on the power play. So to me, there's a little bit of a disconnect in the neutral zone in terms of who's putting pressure on the puck.
2-2 hockey game after 40 minutes of play at the Pepsi Center. When we come back, more of our second intermission report. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Reminder to vote in the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg McMuffin or Biscuit. To vote, just text WINGS, followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com and see final results at the end of the Red Wings game.
Let's bring you tonight's hard hits are brought to you by Timberland Pro. And there's been plenty of these tonight. Jordan Tutu has been involved a lot, throwing his weight around. A guy we don't see fight very often, but did a very good job. Drew Miller standing up for himself and his teammates. Very good fight. Stood in there, stood tall, took some punches and threw some punches. Gave his team a little boost, a little motivation, hopefully going into the third period here, but it's been a physical game, an entertaining game.
It has been, and the hits department, the NHL statistical story has it at 20-7 in favor of Colorado. Shots in that second period sure favored the Avs when they got 2 power play goals. They outshot Detroit 13-5 in the second, 23-17 for the game. Pavel Datsyuk, who's got a goal tonight. And third period is underway, as Datsyuk is back to get one ahead for Alfredsson. As Datsyuk starts with Alfredsson and Zetterberg, Quincy and Eriksson. As Datsyuk has it at center for Daniel Alfredsson. Here's Jonathan Eriksson and a save Varlamov. And Mike Babcock begins the third, Chris, with his 3 big producers of late together.
Yeah, he's looking for a little boost from these guys, and almost a goal there by Alfredsson. Great plays by Datsyuk and Zetterberg all year long. Need these guys to be big in the third period here. Tilt the ice the other direction for a while here.
Stastny gets taken to the near boards. Following up is Gabriel Landeskog. Puck knocked back into the corner by Stastny, and behind the goal came loose. Datsyuk played it to the far corner. Landeskog fell on the play as Pavel Datsyuk brings it to center. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Datsyuk has it knocked away at center. Johan Franzen, who scored his first goal of the year to open the scoring in the power play. Part of the front in the goal for Weiss. Part on the power play after Cody McLeod was kicked out of the game for a hit on Nick Kronwall from behind. And we'll show you that hit again momentarily. Nick Kronwall with a concussion. The good news on his progress. Should be okay. Ryan O'Reilly got knocked down to the ice as Abdelkader able to move one ahead for Stephen Weiss, who's had a fairly quiet night tonight, but going up against Matt Duchene, Chris, is not an easy task.
No, it is not, but early in this third period, the Wings already playing smarter, better, faster hockey.
Here's Duchene. Lashoff trying to muscle him off the puck. Duchene stayed with it and finally lost it. Cleary for Abdelkader. Delays and shoots, and a save made, a rebound! Another whack at it! As Anderson and Cleary are right there. Well, we've spoken of the rebounds given up by Varlamov. Now a speed for McKinnon. We told you about his speed, and he showed some right there, and a good save by Gustafsson.
Coming off again, rebounds by Varlamov. Having troubles handling the puck with his glove here. Puck is loose. Opportunity is there. Just couldn't get the stick on the puck. Then a quick flip out. And here's the speed again by the young McKinnon. Great speed. Comes around. And equally as good a save by Gustafsson. A little unorthodox, but made a nice save.
McKinnon, the first overall pick in 2013. The youngest player in franchise history to score a goal and youngest in franchise history to play. He only turned 18 September 1st. Cleared away by Kindle. Parenteau with a shot, and Gustafsson will slow the play and gets the stop here. And our local Toyota dealers brings you the scouting report on the 2013 first overall pick. And a hometown of Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Does that sound familiar? Yes, to Sidney Crosby. And again, worked out with Sidney Crosby and Matt Duchene all summer long. And this kid looks like the real deal early on, doesn't he?
Well, that has to give him the motivation of summer training and working with two talented players like that. But what's most impressive about him tonight is his two-way play for a guy that young. He's responsible enough on his own end that Patrick Roy has played him quite a bit. And all over the ice, I'm amazed at how good all these young players are around the league, playing in both ends of the rink when they're 18, 19, 20 years old. It's good for the league, good for the fans, having so many of these young stars coming up. It's entertainment.
The Red Wings have had 4 shots in the first 2.5 minutes of this period. They had 5 total in the second. So just as you said, Chris, much better start to the third here for the Red Wings.
They look quicker this period. They look good. I have a good feeling about them moving forward this period.
Here's Alfredsson with a shot and a save by Varlamov. Well, let's bring you up to date on what happened early in the hockey game when the Red Wings lost. Number 55, Nick Kronwall, as Cody McLeod hit him from behind right there.
Yeah, an unfortunate hockey play. Whether or not he seen Kronwall turn, saw his head there, could he have stopped, could he not? We're not sure. They're going to go to player safety in New York with one of my old buddies, Brendan Shanahan. I was mistaken saying it's Toronto. That's where they check out all the old goals they used to score on me. But I'm sure Shanahan will be looking at that, and he'll have a decision here in the next couple of days.
And I think Brendan Shanahan's done a nice job so far this season. The suspensions he's handed down, and they want to clamp down on those hits from behind and on the repeat offenders, and so far doing it.
Not an easy job. It's hard to make everybody happy in a position that he's in, but like you said, he's done a great job.
Brendan's just looking forward to the alumni game. You got to know that, and the Hall of Fame coming up for him. So it'll be a good year for Brendan with all the tough work he's got to do, and along with Chris Chelios, next month's going to be a big month for those two.
I may be the only goalie in that game, so I'm looking for him to back check for once. That would be a change.
To Kaiser. And again, without Kronwall being down to 5 defensemen and playing at mile high here at altitude, tough task for the Red Wings.
Yeah, for certain, it's something that over time, only having 5 defensemen back there, everybody's logging a little more minutes. They're playing a little more. It takes its toll at this altitude here. They got to play smart hockey, get pucks, deep grind, put pucks on Varlamov. He hasn't been great with his rebounds. Maybe he'll find a loose puck to be able to bang something home on the second or third opportunity.
And just 22 shots tonight on Varlamov for a team that averages giving up 35 a night. Although it hasn't bothered him so far, the goaltending's been so good. Fans wanted a penalty there as Duchene went down, none coming. Well, the Red Wings sure haven't had many power plays early this season. O'Reilly feeding one through and sent over. Good play by Eriksson to come back with McKinnon. Abdelkader. Trying to bust through the Avalanche. Burgundy and couldn't do it. They had 4 sweaters lined up right across the line there. Eriksson, good hold into Abdelkader. To the other side goes Joachim Andersen. Cleary taken to the boards by Ryan Wilson.
This is what the Wings need to do this period. Great cycles, get pucks deep, get to the net, throw him in his feet, throw him in his gloves. He's been struggling with rebounds all night long, and bang one home. But they need more in-zone time, and that's what they're getting right here.
The Avalanches, Varlamov will hold it, who like to play man-to-man defense sometimes in their own end, and you have to create some confusion, right? Get guys going in places where they shouldn't be to mix them up.
Yeah, for sure. You got to do what Pavel Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg do. Move everywhere. Not that you can do what they do, or these guys can.
Right.
But similar to it. Move around, cycle, move players around, throw pucks at the net, create some chaos in front of the net, bang one home. Like we said numerous times tonight, Varlamov has not been good with his rebounds. Need to get shots on him continuously in this third period.
Alfredsson hooked down to the ice. There's going to be a penalty coming, so the Red Wings are going to have a power play unless they get a goal here. Here's Alfredsson, 6 skaters on the ice. Gustafsson gone to the bench. Zetterberg with a shot, went off a leg. Picked up by DeKeyser, just threw it to the front of the goal. And now the whistle will go, and the Red Wings will set up on a Bell Tire power play. Patrick Roy's team will be shorthanded, the best penalty-killing unit in the league.
42 minutes cooking.
Well, in the second period, the Red Wings were in their zone the entire period, creating opportunity for the Avalanche, not only scoring chances, but putting them on the power play. Now they've switched this period. The Wings have been in Colorado's end a lot more, creating more opportunities offensively, which draws penalties. Off a draw, a quick little hook on Alfredsson puts him down. Red Wings go on the power play.
Tanguay in the box as Zetterberg sends one back to the line. Kindle here to Alfredsson. Datsyuk back to Alfredsson. For Pavel Datsyuk. To Henrik Zetterberg. To Pavel Datsyuk. Bertuzzi in front. Zetterberg quickly off a leg in front of the goal. And the play had been stopped. And they say that Varlamov had it. The faceoff will come up to his right.
That's a quick whistle. The referees should realize tonight Varlamov has not been great with the puck around the crease. He hasn't been covering a lot of pucks. He hasn't been crisp around his net, so they shouldn't expect him to have the puck. They should wait that extra half a second to make sure he does. Big break for Colorado there. You never know what might happen off that loose puck around the net.
Off the draw, knocked down to the corner. McGinn. Datsyuk and Bertuzzi helped create a turnover for Detroit. Datsyuk to Bertuzzi. Fanned on it. Datsyuk to Zetterberg. To Daniel Alfredsson. Slid it along the near boards. Great play, Zetterberg. Datsyuk, even better play. Kindle fakes, shoots, and didn't go.
What a nifty pass by Zetterberg. Nice pass to Kindle. It had goal written all over it, but somehow it stayed out. Varlamov battled to stay with that puck, and it ended up behind the net. Not even a scoring chance came of it.
Zetterberg missed it. Mitchell's got it. Wide open. In the clear is O'Reilly. The play is onside.
Great veteran play by the 40-year-old Alfredsson to come back realizing there was a man behind him.
That hit Kindle's stick as the shot went high and over top of the goal. Mitchell couldn't get past Abdelkader. Good job here, penalty killing by the Avalanche now as Mitchell mixed it up with Abdelkader. Alfredsson through center. He's got Weiss going, knocked away by Sarge. Abdelkader follows up. Franzen scores! Johan Franzen power play goal! He's got 2, and the Red Wings lead by 1.
Well, a great shot by Franzen, set up by a beautiful touch pass, but actually came back to Alfredsson. Grabbed by Abdelkader, head up, great cross-ice pass by an open Franzen, who won't be denied with a great shot upstairs over Varlamov's glove, which hasn't been great tonight. He's trying to carry it high for a reason, to cover the upper part of the net. He carried it low coming across the net, offering that upper top of the net for Franzen, who didn't make a mistake burying it up high. But great pass, great vision by Abdelkader, who's growing by every game.
So the Red Wings are now 2 for 5 on the Bell Tire power play tonight. And the Avalanche down again. Franzen's got his first 2 of the season this evening.
Brunson from
Playoff this night should help the spirits of Stephen Weiss too. And back come the Avalanche. McGinn with a shot. Now Jonas Gustafsson just needs to make the saves that he should make.
Yeah, he's played well.
He has.
The 2 goals he probably would want back.
Yep.
The goals that he probably should have had. Other than that, he's been very solid tonight. Made numerous big saves for the Red Wings, especially just prior to them scoring.
Varlamov will hold on. So the Red Wings, on the strength of Bronson's power play goal, back in front.
the Ram Trucks Avalanche Ice Girls. Probably
As we look at our 2-goal scorer, let's take a look at our big boys. Big plays of the game tonight. Johan Franzen here with it. Give and go as Zetterberg with a nifty backhand to forehand move. Puts it upstairs on the Colorado netminder. The second goal. Great pass here. Great vision by Advocator finding open Franzen, who doesn't make a mistake in burying it high above the glove of Varlamov to put the Red Wings up 3-2 here in the third period.
$18,000 plus here at the Pepsi Center, urging their team on to get even. The Red Wings have not trailed in this game, had a 2-0 lead after 1. Colorado got 2 in period 2, and the Red Wings have taken the lead, as we've shown you here, 3-2. 2 by Franzen, 1 by Datsuk. Datsuk's at even strength from DeKeyser and Alfredsson. Alfredsson with 2 assists tonight. What a last 4 games he's had. Point shot, save made. Clear to the line. Downey went back to Benoit. Blocked in front of the goal by Weiss. Franzen just chipped it out to neutral ice. Back in from Matt Duchene, but offside as he didn't have control. Coming in, skating backwards across the line. You have to have complete control if you're in ahead of the puck. Well, score a ticket and a beer starting at just $30 with the Red, White, and Brew offer. See the Wings take on San Jose October 21st, or watch them battle Ottawa, Daniel Alfredsson's former team, October 23rd. Visit DetroitRedWings.com for tickets and restrictions. Must be 21 or older to purchase. And a week from tomorrow, we could very well see Darren Helm back in a Red Wing uniform. Puck given away, knocked down in front. Landeskog, big save, Gustafsson, and another stop by Gustafsson on Hayda. Oh, 2 huge stops there by the Red Wings netminder.
If he's trying to make up for those 2 goals, Ken, I think he did a pretty good job of it right there with 2 massive saves.
I'm with you, partner, as Hayda shot it in back of the goal. Gets the return pass from Stastny, and Gustafsson, no rebound, hangs on. Great goaltending. Chris, all yours.
I love this first save. It reminds me of the 80s a bit. A nice, coming off a turnover here, a nice kick save and a beauty by Gus off the first one. Rebound comes out, does a great job of battling, getting across square, takes her off the chest. Great save in here. Once again, the kick save, then the beauty, old style 80s style, but gets back up on his feet, pushes across, takes her off the chest, makes a tough save off a great chance, makes it look easy.
Wraparound try in front of the net. Parenteau gets checked by Bertuzzi. And another stop by Gustafsson off the high glass. As Bertuzzi and Alfredsson have switched lines. As Bertuzzi's dropped down to the 3rd unit here. Another stop by Gustafsson. As Alfredsson's up with Zetterberg and Datsuk. Shot tipped by Parenteau. Loose in front of the net. And the fans wanted a penalty, as they thought that Eriksson created a man advantage for Colorado. That wasn't called. And this one is called on the offside. We'll be back. Red Wings in a 3-2 lead over Waz Avalanche. Well, Jonathan Eriksson, maybe you would be huffing and puffing tonight. You got some extra ice time, and ice time is brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. As you look at the numbers, on average, second to Nick Kronwall, but with Kronwall out tonight, the big man's taking on more time.
Yeah, for sure, he plays a lot of minutes on that top pairing every night in and night out. But tonight, with Kronwall going out with the injury, he's out there even more. And more's been asked of him. I think he's done a great job back there for Coach Mike Babcock. And We're going to see a lot of them here with 9:57 left in the third, that's for sure, Ken.
Pavel Datsyuk, who's got a goal tonight. Daniel Alfredsson, a couple of assists. Franzen, 2 goals. Abdelkader, a couple of assists tonight. As the Red Wings are in a 3-2 lead, despite being outshot 34-24. De Kaiser coughed it up. Datsyuk, Zetterberg, and Alfredsson, first time this season outside of some power play time, and usually Alfredsson's the point. We've seen the big three together on a line. As Mike Babcock put them together in period number 2. Going to start the third here. And we'll get another stop in play. Again, this is the only time the Red Wings will be in this building this season, a building that was the site of Chris Osgood's 400th career win. And I know that night meant quite a bit to you, and probably with the rivalry you've had with the Colorado Avalanche, meant a lot to get it in here.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great night. Just to have that celebration with my teammates, for sure, it was one of those nights you never forget. And I get a different perspective from up here. It's really a great arena with a lot of character and a loud rink.
Wraparound try by Weiss and a save by Varlamov. And it's unfortunate that the guy who got you the winning goal that night had to leave the game all too early on this night with a concussion and a cut. Nick Kronwall. Downey with a good play in the corner. An open Benoit, top of the left face-off circle, and a good block by Franzen. 2 goals tonight and blocking shots too. And a big hit by Franzen.
Wow, he's doing it all right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been great the last 3 games. He's been doing a lot of that. And need that continue on here for the next 8 minutes.
Abdelkader goes back to the line to Kindle as the Red Wings complete a change. Drew Miller, who had a fight tonight with Corey Sarich. Miller, saved by Varlamov, and he'll hold it. And let's take you back in time and revisit what was a great night here for the Wizard of Oz and our broadcast partner on Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah, it was a fun game to play. A lot of shots, a little unconventional there. That might have been age right there, Kenny, but it stayed out of the net somehow, and it was a fun night. It took me, I think, 3 or 4 games maybe to get 400. It was a short amount of time, but it felt like forever, and it was probably the toughest win that I ever had to try and get in my career. And glad Croner put that in for me there, and it was a great celebration with the guys afterwards.
Kindle just got a way of a hit from Bordeleau. And the fourth lines oppose one another here. 2-2 goes in. Glendening knocked it into the corner and goes after it. 2-2 getting to that puck. Finds an open Kindle left point. Faked the shot. Found a lane. In behind the goal, Glendening. Miller went to the front of the goal. He got interfered with. At center for Quincy and back to Kindle. Boy, the Red Wings moved that nicely and right back into the Avalanche zone. Gennin took it. Knocked down by the stick of John Mitchell onto the stick of John Erickson. Fired back in by Joachim Anderson. You've got a lot of let's go Red Wings and let's go Avalanche. There are plenty of Red Wings in the throng here of 18,000. Point shot, Erickson blocked. That stung Landeskog. Went off the captain's skate to Hayda. Moved on here to Paul Stastny, Peter's son. Great former National Hockey Leaguer, to the line and not out. Held in here by Hayda. Shot toward the goal, blocked by Jonathan Erickson, who inadvertently gave it right back to Hayda, and a shot just missed on the stick side of Gustafsson. A break here for Cleary. Hayda is back though. Cleary, the only Red Wing up. Waiting for some help. Played back but deflected away. Quincy will rifle it in. Eric Johnson. Alfredsson stole that puck. He's got Zetterberg going with him. Alfredsson in, stops, looks for somebody open. Now finds Datsyuk. Backhand save, rebound, scores! What a beauty! Pavel Datsyuk from Daniel Alfredsson. It's 4-2.
What a great play by the KG veteran, Daniel Alfredsson. The patience, a sliding Avalanche defenseman. Another He sees the ice so well. Looking up, making a great pass to a driving Datsyuk, who again scores on his second opportunity and doesn't make a mistake the second time. But Alfredsson makes this entire play with the patience, with the vision, finds Datsyuk cutting down the middle. First save by Varlamov. Like all night, having trouble with rebounds. Second one in again, doesn't make the mistake.
Two from Datsyuk tonight, two from Franzen, and Daniel Alfredsson with a 3-point night tonight, giving him a goal and 8 points the past 4 games. Pavel Datsyuk with 5 goals and 8 points the past 4 games. .13:35, the time of that goal for the Red Wings for the second time on this night. And to come back in the third period with 2 after a lackluster second. They dug deep and are up by 2 again after leading this game by 2 after 1.
In this winning streak, the Red Wings have been on lately. This third period has been their best period in probably every single one of the games. They're getting better as the game goes on. Yeah, they have their times when, like you said, they're lackluster, like the second period tonight. But they have the character and the will, and they come back in that third period, and they played great. And they've earned this lead. Yeah, sure, they gave it up, but they stayed patient. They got the lead back, and to me, playing really solid, straightforward hockey this entire period has paid dividends for them.
Datsyuk shot one off Varlamov. Datsyuk again, behind the back pass. Came to the line. Last shot with a shot, but Varlamov deflects with his blocker off the high glass. Played into the middle for Bordeleau. Didn't get it out, though. Datsyuk turned it back on a feedback from Alfredsson. As I don't think, with Bordeleau out there, it's the matchup Patrick Roy wanted, as Mike Babcock got the Datsyuk unit with Alfredsson and Zetterberg right back out. Now they'll get a change as Weiss's line comes over the boards. Played down to Benoit, forced there by Franzen. Just over 4 to play in period 3. Oh, that hit Gustafsson right in the head. He made the save.
That puck was rolling. A quick release.
Ooh, that one skipped on Varlamov, and good thing for him, it was wide.
A quick release rose and hit Gustafsson in the head and square to the puck, making the save.
De Kaiser got a stick on that attempt. Stastny let the shot go. And it's cleared out of play with 3:46 to go in a third period that's been mostly Detroit. Daniel Alfredsson leading the way.
For the Waste Management Recycle.
Mickey York back here in the Fox Sports Detroit studios to remind you that coming up later tonight, we'll have a Game 5 playoff post-game edition of Tigers Live. Craig Monroe will join me in the studio. Mario and Rod will be with Matt Shepard out at the Hockey Town Cafe. And John Keating will be working the Tigers clubhouse to get all the reaction from tonight's pivotal game. But first, have some hockey to finish up back out in Colorado. So Ken, Ozzie, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mick. Good third period here for the Red Wings, up by 2. Oh, the Tigers trail by 1. The Red Wings up by a couple. Need a Tiger comeback here and the Red Wings to hold on. Be a great night.
For sure, to complete a perfect night in Detroit would be beautiful. Red Wings are going to have to finish strong here. Up by 2. The Avalanche are going to come with everything they have. They got to be good defensively. Got to make the crisp passes, the smart plays, no turnovers at their blue line, and get pucks deep at Colorado's blue line.
Here's Stastny out of the corner, checked there by Datsyuk. Alfredsson. Datsyuk. Zetterberg trying to hold off Johnson. Tanguay, Stastny, and back into his own zone. 3 to go in the third period. No icing. Jonathan Ericsson. So Colorado with a perfect 6-0 start. 3-0 at home, 3-0 on the road. In danger of falling for the first time as Bronson shoots and high. Abdelkader. Weiss put it back into the corner. Johan Franzen with 2 tonight. Gets knocked down by Wilson. Gets back up. Franzen being a mule. Abdelkader hits Benoit. Abdelkader's got it. Tried it for Weiss. Didn't work. Now Bertuzzi comes on for Franzen. Wilson. His pass a good one. To the goal, to the bench goes Varlamov. Patrick Roy has pulled his goaltender with 2:05 to go in the third period, down by 2. 6 skaters for Colorado. In front of the net. Cleared away. Weiss trying to get it out, getting over there. De Kaiser couldn't clear. O'Reilly in front of the goal. A shot saved by Gustafsson. Big stop. And another one. 2 in a row on Matt Duchene. Without a stick is Bertuzzi. Gustafsson got that one. Cleary. Red Wings don't want to ice it. Bertuzzi just takes the hit, gets it to center, and goes to the bench. Back in comes Colorado. With 90 seconds to go, Parenteau the shot. Saved by Gustafsson. Puck is loose. Duchene finds it. Knocked away by Anderson. Duchene put it to the corner. Stastny back for Matt Duchene. Stastny in front. And that wouldn't go on a good setup. On a chance for Parenteau. Downing to Stastny in front of the goal. Another shot stopped by the right pad of Gustafsson on Hayda. Parenteau's got it. Hayda for Downing to Hayda. Johnson. Stastny knocked away from Parenteau. Hayda to Downey to Hayda again. 6 skaters, Colorado. Johnson gets it back from Stastny. Parenteau couldn't handle it. Eric Johnson again. Paul Stastny in behind the goal. Centering one, banging away off a leg and wide.
Under siege is an understatement right now.
Duchene to Kaiser. Forced him wide, he's going to get a penalty.
Detroit, number 65, 2 minutes flashing.
Gustafsson, who looks like he's out of gas right now for good reason. He's been under siege here in the third period, especially the last 2 minutes, making big save after big save. Sure, the 2 goals he'd probably like to have back, but certainly has made up for them making numerous big saves, scrambling saves, battling saves, old school saves, and square saves. But really battling here last 2 minutes, there was an unbelievable shoulder save, staying up and being square. But now time. Gustafsson is our AT&T U-verse player of the replay. There's the altitude's kicking in for him right now. Last 2 minutes. Patrick Roy pulling his goalie early. Being 2 goals down, numerous opportunities. Gustafsson coming up huge, making numerous big saves. In particular, the rebound save off his shoulder, which was a great save, ticketed for the top right-hand corner, staying big. Reminding us why they did call him the Monster when he's in Toronto. And the way he's played lately, he's earning that nickname back. Colorado with 17 shots on net this period, looking for a few more.
So De Kaiser in the box for slashing. 6 on 4, the manpower advantage with the Colorado net empty. That shot was fanned on. Parenteau from an acute angle passes across for Duchene. Stastny put it in front of the goal. They bang away and clear it. The Red Wings are going to win it. Detroit's going to win their 4th straight to go to 6-2, and the Colorado Avalanche, for the first time this season, lose to go to 6-1. The Red Wings have knocked off the Avalanche as Jonas Gustafsson. In for the injured Jimmy Howard wins a 3rd consecutive game as the Red Wings have won a 4th straight.
Well, for me, Gustafsson probably or would want the 2 goals back that he let in, but more than made up for him, showing mental toughness, showing battle. He came back from them, made big save after big save, especially in the third period, standing tall for the Red Wings, making saves when needed most throughout the night, and defeating a previously undefeated Colorado Avalanche team, and a big victory to keep their win streak going.
And how accustomed have we been to seeing Johan Franzen with game-winning goals? 34 of them the last 6 regular seasons, and he's got one tonight. Tonight's high-speed shot brought to you by Charter Internet, and it would be a Johan Franzen with the game-winning goal to make it 3-2 after he had opened the scoring, and then Pavel Datsyuk with some insurance as the Red Wings win by 2, 4-2, a 4th straight victory, and the Colorado Avalanche are finally knocked off their high horse as they had gone 6-0, along with San Jose, the only unbeaten perfect teams on the season. Johan Franzen with the winner, standing by with Trevor Thompson.
Kenny, thank you very much. Johan Franzen with a pair of goals, his first 2 of the season. The first one got the Wings on the board. The second one, the game winner tonight, Johan. Power play going. You got to like what you saw from your power play against a team that hadn't lost all season long.
Yeah, the first one was a great pass from Hank. He recognized they left me on my own from the net, so he saw that and gave me a good pass. And the second one was a great pass from Abby. Not really a power play goal, but it was a nice play by him.
Their PK had been pretty good until this point. Why do you think you were able to have some success against their penalty kill on their home ice tonight?
All of the goals are kind of from somewhat broken plays, so good, skilled players take an opportunity when something opens up.
Jonas Gustafsson, 3 wins in a row, all over the place tonight. Just talk about the effort you saw from him in the net to get the win here.
Yeah, it's been great. I don't know how many saves he did down the stretch there, but he was huge. He didn't stop it once, like 3-4 times in a row there, so he was great for us.
Can you just explain how big this win is to keep the momentum going for yourselves, winning 4 in a row and spoiling the start that they're off to?
Yeah, we were talking about that before this trip, and that's going to be a big one for us, a good test, and we get a good start. We got to get two more points when we get into Phoenix.
Well, congrats getting yourself on the score sheet tonight, and thanks for this, Johan.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, let's go to the guys upstairs. They've got something to do with a Euro train or something like that. What's that about, guys?
Yeah, well, I think so. When you got this Euro train is rolling. With about 20-some minutes to go in this hockey game. The line was put together. Zetterberg with Datsyuk and Alfredsson, really for the first time this year at even strength. But look what they've done through this 4-game winning streak. All combined, 8 points for Alfredsson, 8 points for Pavel Datsyuk, and 7 points the last 4. What a night. And Daniel Alfredsson on a 3-point night tonight. Zetterberg with 1 assist tonight. Pavel Datsyuk with a couple of goals tonight. Yes, this line, and I don't know whether they'll stay together. Mike Babcock had to do some juggling here tonight, but what a night they had. And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And with that, let's look at Pavel Datsyuk's 2 goals tonight.
Well, he used magic once again tonight. Here, delivering on a rebound, burying it like the goal scorer he is. And here, great vision by Alfredsson. Patience is a virtue here. As 2 Avalanche players slide by the play, finds a Datsyuk dashing through the middle of the ice, kicking it to his stick, soccer style, and burying his rebound in for the 2nd goal of the game. And a little insurance there for the Red Wings.
So the Red Wings get a couple of power play goals tonight from Johan Franzen. Finished 2 for 5 on the power play. So despite being outshot 40-28, the Red Wings win by 2 to win a 4th straight. Colorado loses their first in 7.